What's up, guys? Jason Gowan here, and tonight I'm going to talk about how to get jobs done fast and, more important, safe. Because I've seen people get jobs done fast and they fall off the roof and it's not safe. And so that's what I want to hit on tonight of what are some things to keep us safe, how we can be more efficient, and how we can get jobs done in an hour. I see people starting out there and it's taking them 4, 5, 6 hours to do a job. And I'm going to teach you how to do them in 1 or 2 hours. And I'll walk through the steps of what makes things go faster. And so that's what I want to hit on tonight of why it is important that we stay safe. And last year, during Christmas lights install season, I know of 2 or 3 people that have passed away, and we don't want that to happen this season. And so we want to stay safe this season, and I want you all to stay safe, and I want your employees to stay safe, but I also want you to be able to get jobs done efficient. And so that's what I'm going to hit on tonight. But before we get there, I've had some really cool things. Jason Hefner sent me some pictures. I might show a couple things here online here. I want to show a couple things because this is something that he sent me a message today, and it's really cool, this message that he sent me. And, I think that he was, well, let's just kind of show you what I've got here. Let's see if this is going to work or not. And then I'll get going from there. That's not what I wanted, but it is my new store. If you want to go buy some stuff from my new store, I've got it up and running, and it's working great. And let's see if I can find it. So this is one of Jason Hefner's when he started his pressure washing business in 2000. He was one of my first mentors, and this was his dream trailer that he wanted to get one day. And he went from that, and this was his first pressure washer, and now today he was cleaning this. And so it's back to, you put your mind to things, it's amazing what you can do. When you believe in yourself and you believe that you can do amazing things, it is awesome. And the reason why I love this so much, because this topic has been huge in the group, that you just can't make no money in put your location, right? When Jason started 5 years ago at pressure washing, that was always said is you can't make no money in Florida. And when he started working with me and I started coaching him, and I told him to start raising his prices, he was kind of kicking his feet a little bit. And he's like, Jason, and he actually sent me a message that, Jason, you can't make money in Florida. And I said, you're right, if you want to believe that. Because is there cheap people there? Absolutely. Is there people that are willing to pay more than what cheap people are paying? And the answer to that is absolutely. It doesn't matter what business that we're in. It doesn't matter if we're in pressure washing, Christmas lights. It doesn't matter what it is in. But here is what I will tell you. That Jason does $250,000 to $300,000 a year as a part-time pressure washer. He does, and he hangs Christmas lights in the wintertime. He's also a full-time firefighter in Sarasota or down in that area in Florida. And he only works Monday through Friday. And when he's at the firehouse, he doesn't work pressure washing, obviously. And so that's what I want you to understand, because I hear it all the time. Well, Jason, in Texas, you just can't make money. Well, but I've got people in Texas that is making money. So you can believe that, and you can go run after the cheap clients with all the rest of them and have a rat race to the bottom as fast as you want. Or you can go after the people that you want to go after. And this is why I've been hammering on this so hard, because I have people like Jason that literally said you can't make money in Florida. And he would show me pictures of the $49 guys pressure washing houses. And I'm like, don't worry about those guys. They have their clientele. You don't want that clientele. And this is something that is up here at the end of the day. And so this is why it is so important that we change our mindset, we get around like-minded people, and it will literally change your life. Because when you're chasing after pennies, you can be going as much as hard work as it is to chase after the pennies is to chase after the premium customers. And I would much rather chase after premium customers than chase after the pennies, right? And so that's what I want to hit on tonight. But before we get there, I've been cleaning up my shop here, getting ready for this weekend. I'm excited. We got some people coming here for training. I think we got 14, 15 people signed up for training. I'm going to have Sean Day here. He's going to be talking about how to recruit and hire, and a little bit on leadership. I've got Barry Little's going to be here. He don't know it yet, but he's going to talk a little bit about Facebook and how he uses Facebook, because he's got a very good following in Facebook, and he's an exciting guy. And it's going to be an amazing weekend. We'll get to eat dinner together. We'll get to talk and just be and learn together. And it's going to be an amazing week to see the people come and learn and grow. And I'm excited. My last class was permanent lighting, so I had to move some stuff here. And you can see I've got the Christmas lights all on over there. My monitor's kind of in the way, but you can see I got all my Christmas lights on. And I'm excited. I can't wait. It's going to be a great weekend. We got the pitch hoppers on the roof. We got the goat on the roof. Had to clean up all the granules that got knocked off of the last class. So we cleaned that all up so nobody gets a sliding around on the floor. And it's going to be awesome. We got the tree lit up, which we'll take those lights back down and we'll put them back up. And so it's a great hands-on class. Friday, you get your hands on the stuff, you get to touch it, you get to do it, you get to use everything. You can climb on the roof, you can climb on the gutters, you can do everything. Saturday is going to be awesome. Marketing, we're going to talk about recruiting. I'm going to do some sales stuff that I haven't done in the past, and I'm excited. Like, I am pumped up and ready to go because it's exciting. I've got John coming up from Florida. He's driving up from Florida, from Pensacola, Florida. He's in my mentorship group, and I just love him. He just sold a $3,500 or $3,600 job this today. He's never even taken the training. He's been asking us questions how to close this thing, and he's just excited. He always got a smile on his face, and that's what I love about this. And so it's going to be awesome because we got people that are going to come together and learn together. And this training is going to be in Cincinnati. It's not technically in Cincinnati. It's in Northern Kentucky. It's about 15 minutes from the Cincinnati airport, which is in Kentucky. And so the hotels are about 15, 20 minutes away. And so if you need to Uber out here one way, you can Uber out the one way. And then I'm sure we'll be able to get you rides back and forth the rest of the weekend. You don't have to rent a car if you don't want to. Like I said, you might even be able to find somebody at the hotel. They're mostly staying at the Comfort Inn or the Hilton Garden. You might be able to bum a ride that way too. But once we get you here, we'll be able to get you back and forth. And so that's what it's going to be fun and exciting. What else have I been doing today? I know I got something else I want to talk about because this is kind of one, and I hope it stays. I'm a little worried. Google Business Profile. So Google Business Profile, I had my Google Business Profile as in also areas where they're country club. So Business Google Profile, I had one that was named King of Pressure Wash and Christmas Lights Training is what it was called. And so since I got my store open and I've got my Shopify store at christmaslights.io, go check it out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try something. I changed the name of it. It didn't get suspended. I changed the phone number on it. I didn't get suspended. Don't try to do this on your own. I'm just telling you what I did. And I was kind of crazy for doing it, but I was like, screw it. I changed the address on it. I put the address on it. Only thing I haven't done is change the description, but I have literally changed everything. I didn't do this all in one go. I did it over about 2 weeks. And today I finally got the address up. So if you want to go see it and give me a 5-star review, put some pictures up, I would absolutely thank you a lot. That would be awesome for me. It would mean the world to me. And, if I've actually did help you in your business, and write me a review, tell me about it. You know, I had some people commenting today or this week telling me how they have been blessed and everything, and so that is awesome. So again, you know, if you want to go check out my watch it, if you want to go check out my my Google My Business, if it comes up here, and give me a review, I would appreciate it. You can also go check it out. I'll put it in here in the thing, so you can do that. I've been scared to even look at my Google My Business, and that's why I'm kind of sending this, because I changed one thing. I'm like, well, then is it going to get suspended? Nope. Change another one. Now, I will say that the Google Business Profile that I've used to put this on, I've had for 20, or for instance, for my other businesses. So I've had probably 8 or 10 Google Business Profiles off this one email. So I do know that helps with Google Business Profile. That is something that will help me get it, the Google Business Profile. All right. I know I've talked a lot here, and I know I want to talk, but these trees are killing me right now. 3 guys took all day to finish 2 jobs. Ouch. Yeah, trees can definitely. I do remember. So we got a large. What was it? It was a large tree job. It was like 45 trees. And the first year, it was our first year of Christmas lights, and that took us, I think it was like 4 days. Like, you want to talk about becoming good at trees? Do 4 days worth of trees worth. Your arms and shoulders will be killing you, and it sucks. But I tell you what, by second year, we were able to do all the same trees in about 2 days, because we got a lot more efficient, got quicker, and you know, you learn how to do things, and you just learn to suck it up and get it done. Listening to you, I'm charging $14 a foot. Some people negotiate, but it still ends up nothing less than $12 a foot. That's freaking amazing. I love it. You know, and that's what I love about this. You know, I tell people $8 to $12, and I've actually been saying 8 to 14, because I don't want to make you think that you're limited to only $12, right? I know people that charge $16, $18 a foot. And so that is freaking awesome, man. That is amazing. Let's go. I'm at $10 and holding strong on price. Discounts are over. Let's go, Jason. I've been getting a lot of your videos. I'm in Oklahoma, first year doing lights. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What else we got here before we get started? Jason, you're the GOAT. I don't know about that. It is pretty awesome to see you guys being successful. That's what makes me excited. People always want to know what makes me excited is your success. I love when you write reviews on me. to me and tell me how I've helped you change your life. And that's what is awesome because, that's what makes me excited. Where's the training at? The training is it's actually in Burlington, Kentucky, but it's just right outside of Cincinnati. If this computer will work. Do you know? Let's go, Jason. I've been getting a lot of your video. I answered that. I said that. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I started raising my prices a few years ago, and I'm now doing at least $2,000 to $3,000 a day part time. I am in West Virginia, West by God, Virginia. Let's go, Jason. I need the best way to get leads possible in California. $10 a foot. Yeah, for sure. Again, Facebook, yard signs, Google ads, networking, whatever it takes, you got to get there. Let's see. I think I'm doing the house this year so I can get my feet wet with some lights. Which supplier you use for parts? That's a no-brainer. ChristmasLights.io is where you need to go. You can get fast, free shipping, and it's amazing. And if you need any help, you can call me, and I will answer my phone. And yes, I've been answering my phone. Just posted a review. Well, thank you. Jason, quit telling people yard signs work. I'm seeing them everywhere. Press team, what are you doing to get leads? All right. So let's talk first about safety. I see way too many times people getting up on roofs and they just try to do that one little extra thing. And that one little extra thing is what can be your last thing that you do. As I was showing here in this training that I have, you get to use the pitch hopper on a roof that's only 3 feet off the ground, right? You can use the goat that's only 3 feet off the ground. You can feel how this thing feels up there versus trying not to. I have the harness over there so you can see what you may want to do with a harness. And so these are all things that we need to make sure that we are staying safe and we are keeping our guys safe, right? It's one thing to keep us safe. It's another thing of keeping our guys safe. And so this is the importance of making sure that we do things safely. Make sure we use the right ladder with the ladder stabilizer. A ladder stabilizer will help keep that ladder from falling over. These are all things that you need to make sure that you are staying safe. Last year, there was a video of a guy up on the roof that another guy fell off the roof and he's standing up there laughing at the dude. And it's like, you understand that could have been that guy's last day of his life when he fell off that roof. And if you don't take this serious, and if you're afraid to get on that roof, this is the only time that I'm okay you having fear, right? I would rather you have fear at this point. This is the only time I want you to have fear. I don't want you to have fear when you need to go knock on that door. I don't want you to have fear when you go answering that phone, right? Those are not times to have fear. Being up on this roof is a time to have fear. There's a couple other times that you can have fear, but not many, right? And so if you're not careful when you're up on these roofs and you fall off, or your guys fall off, and you don't have the right insurance, you don't have the right workers' comp, you're going to lose everything. And so this is why it is important that you make sure that you are staying safe at the end of the day. Now, can we do it safely, and does it take more time? And the answer is it might take a little bit, but what's worse, taking a little bit more time or falling off the roof? And I hope you don't say falling off the roof is more important, right? Because falling off the roof is definitely something that you got to be careful. Next is, how do we do it quickly? You know, to do it quickly, you need two things. One, you need a really good roof guy, and two, you need a really good ground guy. If you have those two things and you both get into unison and you know you're each other's job, and the roof guy knows what the ground guy's doing, and the ground guy knows what the roof guy is getting ready to do, you will be able to go a lot faster and a lot safer. Now, if you don't have a good roof guy or you don't have a good ground guy, then this is why it is important to have systems. One of the things that you can do to speed up your getting the jobs done faster is to pre-bulb and pre-clip everything, right? Have everything pre-bulbed and pre-clipped. So when you show up on the job, all you have to do, I'm trying to find a bulb. I moved all my stuff over here. I cleaned, oh, there's a bulb. Have everything pre-bulbed and pre-clipped in a garbage can. Because what this will allow you to do is to not do that standing on the job. You know, to do 1,000 feet will take you about an hour to an hour and a half of doing, about 2 hours to do 1,000 feet. So 2 hours, and you divide that into 5, right? So you can see that that's going to take you 30, 40 minutes just to bulb and clip on the job. Why not bulb and clip when you're sitting at home doing nothing, or you got these kids that are taking up no time? You can have them do it also. And so these are all things that we can do to do it faster. You know, I always tell people to put the males and females together, because the little caps, they're not always on. And so a lot of times when you get these caps, they will be this one was put, yeah, they will be in two different places. You'll have the plug, and then you'll have the cap. Well, if you just put these in your pocket, when you pull one out, then you're digging and they're falling out to try to find the caps. So one of the ways that you can speed up time is you just put the cap on. Now, you don't want to push this all the way on, because once you push it all the way on, you can hear it click. Now it's harder for it to come off. So if you just kind of keep it like so, you can put this in your pocket. When you pull it out, you have the cap and you have the female or the male. So it's a way to make sure that you can install faster. Again, if you don't do these things, it's going to take you time to do this on the job. And then the next thing is have a gear checklist. So I actually have a gear checklist of what you should have in your pockets. If you have an employee, you should make sure that before they get on the job, they have 25 males, they have 50 females, they have whatever you want to make sure they have. They have a couple clips, a couple bulbs, a couple of extra wire, and you want to make sure that they have all of this stuff when they're up on the roof. This will make your time go a lot faster, because this is what happens. You climb up on the roof and you forget something, and you have to yell down at Billy Bob, and Billy Bob is not fast at all. And then Billy Bob is going to walk over to the truck, as he doing over to the truck, and then he's going to dig for it. He's not going to find what you need. So now you're going to have to get down on the ladder. You're going to have to walk over to the pickup truck. And when you walk over to the pickup truck, now you're looking at your phone. You see that you missed a phone call from the boss, might be your wife, the boss, or some other boss. And now you're going to make a phone call. Now we're going to be looking for what we need. And then even better is you ain't got it in your truck because you didn't pack it. Then you go back to get up on the roof, and you do that 3 or 4 times, and this is what takes you forever. right? This is what takes four hours to do an hour or two job. And so if you get efficient and you find a good person on the roof that's not scared to death up there, that's comfortable on the roof, and you find a good roofing person, these are all things that you can do to make this a lot better for yourself, right? And so these are things that are the little things that will speed you up really fast. Because when you miss the little things, these are the things that are going to slow you down and are going to take you an hour, 3 hours, 4 hours to do a $2,000, $1,500 job. And I see this all the time. People are like, man, how do they do it so fast? Well, pre-bulb and clip, you you have everything ready. The ground guy knows what he does, the roof guy knows what he does. In my training I do a 26 steps of basically making sure of this is the ground guy's job, this is the roof guy's job. Like soon as you pull up on the job, the ground guy should be pulling the lights out of the bucket and putting it across and start putting it up on the roof as the roof guy is going knocking on the door, getting the ladder to put it up to go up, and that way the ground guy has got you ready to go. So as soon as you get up there, you can start clipping these lights, and this is what makes it go a lot faster. I had no idea how scared people actually are to get on a roof or a ladder. And that is why we pay. That's why people are willing to pay $2,000 to $3,000 to hang Christmas lights, because there have been type people that won't pay it, but then when their husband falls off the ladder, then they start paying it because they realize how much it costs them to not pay it and to pay the hospital bills instead of paying to get the lights done. So these are all little things. Okay, that was the other thing. I was going to show you one more thing here. Is I do have a checklist that I will give to you for free. It doesn't cost, but well, it might cost you an email if I can find it here. So if you go on my main page, christmaslights.io, and you scroll down here, I have a checklist right here for your gear checklist, and you can check the gear checklist out here. It just kind of tells you what all you need on your gear checklist. It's a free one. You can click on it, and that is where you want to go to get that. And so this is something that you can do. Again, if you need any lights, you can go to lights. This is actually my training here with everybody in here. You can see everybody up on the roof. You can see people, learning how to do the roof and how to hang on to the roof. And this is a 12-12 pitch. So it is very steep, and it is something that it was an awesome class. We actually had almost 20 people in this class, 20 or 21 people in this class. And everybody got their turn on the roof. Everybody got to put up the lights. They got to put the lights on the tree. And so these are all things that you can do in the training that is coming up. Again, if you need any lights, go check this out. Now, I am going to give away something next Wednesday. And this is how, and I haven't put it out in the group. I meant to put it out in the group today, but I got sidetracked it. So I am going to give away one of three things. Actually one of two things. Or one of three, I'll do one of three. A pitch hopper or a website, or I will also, with the website, I will do the 5 Google business cards, the 5 tap cards. So that way, as long as you get your Google business, then that was what you'll get. You'll get the website with the Google tap cards. And how you have to enter is you buy something for the next week, you are going to be entered into the contest. If you don't buy nothing, you will not be entered into the contest. And yes, even if you come to training, that is something that you will be bought also. But yes, if you buy something off of the website, it is going to enter you into it. Now, what I will say is it is a new website, and if you have problems, You can either use the chat button down here on the right, or you can text me at 855. You can text me at 855-619-5483. You can call me at that and let me know what is wrong. And I will appreciate you if you find things. And yes, I've found some things already and I've been fixing them. And so again, it helps me out, which helps you out, and I help you out make money. So if you want to, I would appreciate it very much. Now, your turn. What's your all's questions for this week? How many of you, I've actually got another question for you. If you want to know when I go live, which I didn't do tonight, text that word light and that will let you know when I go live. Let's see here. Let's see. I may not be able to. Jeremy Olson, a previous contract became head of engineer for Highland Retail Chain. He wants me to be their pressure washer. I'm mostly residential and decks. What do I charge commercial versus residential? It really depends on like how many locations they have. Are they wanting a deal? Do they not want a deal? How often are you doing it? What's their budget? Ask these things because their budget might be more than what you think sometimes. And be like, their budget's like, yeah, it's $5,000 a time. Okay, yeah, we can make that work, right? Or, it might be less than that. So typically you're going to, like for concrete cleaning, you're going to be around the 20 to 15 to 25 cents. I do know people that have done 30 cents. I know people that have done 50 cents a square foot. So again, it really kind of depends on where you want to be at. I think yard signs and MailChimp have been great for my business. Also check out Sly Broadcast. You can pre-record voicemail messages for your clients list and it goes straight to their email. 5x7 postcards, 9x11 postcards, yard signs, Google Guarantee, and ads and referral program. Regarding storage, does your average job fit into a standard size storage tote, or do you need more than one for each? I'm shooting for 100 jobs. How much storage space am I looking at roughly? You could probably put that in no problem of a 10 by 10 storage unit. It might be stacked high, but you should be able to do it in a 10 by 10 storage unit. I just did this yesterday. Half of them were fully pushed in. Half of them, I realized what the heck I was doing. If I own the business and I'm the only one be climbing on the roof, do I need workers' comp? And the answer to that is no. Because they look at if you are the business owner and you fall off, you don't have a business no more. And so that is why you can't even get workers' comp on yourself unless you make your wife or somebody else own the business. So you can't even get workers' comp. A lot of times you have to get a ghost plan. So if you deal with commercial, so that way you can be covered under workers' comp, which technically you're not covered under workers' comp because it is a ghost plan. Those were some big trees. I had no idea how scared people are to get on roofs and ladders. That's why we're able to charge so much for Christmas lights, because a lot of people are scared to death to get up on these homes. It will be packed if you do 100 homes. What do you think of permanent light trend like Govee lights? Some of my customers who did Christmas lights last year, I'm doing permanent lights for them this year. I wouldn't do Govee because you can look at some of the Govee lights last year and they're not working this year. So if I was going to do a permanent light job, I am going to push them to a good brand and something that actually looks good versus Govee. If you want to sell a $300 Govee system, then they're not going to want to pay you much to put them up. You're probably making less to put those up than if you would have done temporary. So I would rather go find other customers that are willing to pay me temporary that it's going to keep me versus making $300 or $400 off of installing Govee lights. Now, if you want to put up a better system, you can. You can do Invisilights. You can do other ones, Minleon, whatever, and you can do it that way. And then that way they can have the lights up with a better track. It actually has a metal track. It matches the same color of their house, so it's not going to fall off the house. In fact, one of my good friends, Daniel, I was up at his house last year, and the guy across the street put Govee up. And this year, Daniel sending me a picture of him having to go out there and screw them back up because they all fell down. So, and they quit working, and that was another issue. We had a customer pay $20,000 in full for a house today. Isn't it awesome that people will pay $20,000 for Christmas lights? It's just, you got to go find the right customers. That's what you got to do. What should we charge country clubs? $14 a foot? Well, what are you worth? Where are you at? What are you charging other people? Would be some of my questions of what's their budget? How well are you going to make it look? Those are all things that need to be considered when we are looking at installing Christmas lights. What other questions you got? So, this week is the middle of October. Literally, today is the 15th of October. And I will say that some of you will start really, really ramping up. But if this is your first year, don't get discouraged. If you haven't been doing a lot of the things that you need to do, like putting out yard signs, doing Facebook ads, I will say that you're probably not going to close a lot. And here's why. Because you don't understand the magic. You don't understand selling the magic. You've never installed a house, or maybe you've only installed your house. You don't even know what they look like at nighttime. And so when you don't believe in your own product, you're not going to go sell a $20,000 house, right? And so these are all things that I want you to know. If you are a new installer, don't get discouraged. I see a lot of times people get discouraged because they're like, Jason, I sent out 20, 30 estimates and I haven't closed one. Well, we're still early. People are still knocking doors and, shaking the thing to see if they want to spend that much. November comes around, you will get busy. Just keep putting out the yard signs, keep doing your Facebook stuff, and it's amazing what can happen. Some people might say, Jason, is it too late to start a Christmas light business? And the answer is no. And the reason what got me on this thinking is Justice Baker. I posted about him yesterday. 3 years ago, he came to one of my trainings that was at the end of October. It was actually might have been like the first and second day of November. And he showed up to one of my trainings. And when he showed up to one of my trainings, my Christmas light training, he was broke. He hadn't made much money in Christmas or pressure washing, and he was barely being able to get through. And 3 years later, he came to that class 3 years ago. He came to a class in the spring. He came to one of my spring classes. And today he's at $400,000 for pressure washing and Christmas lights. He's already at like $150,000, $130,000 to $150,000 in Christmas lights. His goal is to do 400. He don't know if he'll make that, but the thing that I want to hit on that is the way he's getting leads right now isn't what a lot of people think. Is he running Facebook ads? Yeah. Are they doing okay? Yeah, they're all right. Is he doing yard signs? Yeah. Are they doing all right? Nah, they're okay. But one of the things that he's been doing that I pushed so hard back then was video. And he's like, Jason, I was scared to death to be on video, but you pushed me through it. And so that's what I want to do today is help you push through of what is the thing that you might be struggling with that you need to push through, that you need to take action. And is it going to be perfect? No, it's not going to be perfect. But imperfect action beats no action at all every time, 100%. And so what I would say is this, and here's the thing, right? Justice, he gives a lot back to his community. He gives a lot back to his church. He helps out in the youth, and it's amazing to see how he has grown in his business. He's another one. You know, when I was talking about John coming up here to class, and he's always got a smile on his face, and it's when you're around people like that, you get excited, right? And you have a smile because it's contagious. And that's what I love to be around is people like that are excited and smiling and versus the ones that want to sit and complain and tell me why they can't grow their business and tell me why they can't do stuff. I want to be around people that they go take action. Like today, last night, John said, tomorrow I'm going to close a job. And he closed the job today. He hasn't even been to training yet. He's done my online course and a little bit of that, but he was able to sell the magic. And he was like, man, we talked for 30, 40 minutes and we wasn't even talking about the lights. But that's how you sell jobs. He had found out she has five grandkids. She has, they're coming up to see her. She hasn't seen them in a while. And guess what? Guess how he was able to close a $3,300 job? Man, it's going to look amazing when those 5 grandkids come up here. It's going to be awesome when those grandkids get out of the car, right? These are all ways of selling the emotion and quit selling the freaking bulbs. Because when we sell the bulbs, we just sell bulbs and we don't want to sell bulbs. I want you to sell emotion because emotion is how we're able to make more money and how to be able to sell more and to believe in more. And it's amazing what can happen. Let's see, a lot of people have money. Getting some landscape lighting requests. I'm not doing any until spring. Where do I get landscape lighting information? Well, Matt, I am going to have a class here with, I can't even think of his name. I went blank. I can't think of his name. I'm actually going to have a landscaping class here in Cincinnati with, can't think of his name. He's done a couple other classes that I've been to with him. And so he's going to do permanent. I'm going to do permanent lights. He's going to do landscape lighting. And we're going to kind of team it together. And it's probably going to be in February or March. And we may have it here. I don't know. We might have it in Florida. I'd rather have it in Florida because it's warmer down there. But I don't know if we got a place to do it down there. So that will be happening in February. We're probably trying to push for February so that way people can get started in the spring. When does it really start picking up? It really starts picking up in November. I would say the first to second week of November, and then the week before Thanksgiving is when it gets crazy, crazy time. If you do your marketing and get your Google My Business going and 5-star reviews and all of that kind of stuff, you can get, I know people get 100 to 150 phone calls a day trying to get lights up during the week before Thanksgiving. This is my first year, and I've been putting out yard signs as I'm doing DoorDash. I haven't got a call yet, but I know I will soon. About to start door knocking. Any advice for door knocking? My first question is on your signs, what do they look like? Would be my first thing, because that's kind of weird. You haven't gotten any phone calls. Now, I don't know how many. Are we talking that you put out 10 signs, or are we talking that you put out 100 signs? Because there is a difference. And then on door to door, you need to try to figure out where your target market is. You want to walk that neighborhood until you get 90% of yes or no's, and you just keep walking the same neighborhood and keep knocking on the same doors until you get a human 90% of the time before you move on to the next one. Once you get one person to quote, then you can say, hey, I've just quoted Miss Susie over here, and she got her house going to look amazing. Do you want your house to look amazing also? How do we handle when people say we're too expensive through text? How can we explain value through text? Let's go, Matt. We are training and networking tomorrow. I'm bringing my guy and meeting up. So that can be very tough in text. That is one that you're just going to have to kind of play with it, and it's a numbers game at the end of the day. One of the things that you can do too is when they say you're too expensive, if you line item things out, be like, well, what is your budget? We can take off all of this stuff and get you down to your budget. Now, if their budget's $300, that's why we got to pre-qualify them before we go doing a bunch of work and pre-qualify them. Starting off this year, should I go about using contracts of some type of service agreement or just go word of mouth? I mean, you can do some agreement, but they're only good as what the paper is on. Is basically, get your 50% deposit up front, make sure that you are doing that, get your credit card on file, so that way it all makes it easier for you to do that. I've been taking your advice and not bought wire and bulbs, but I've shopped around. You said you're not the cheapest, but you're not the highest. Yard signs are in door hangers in Friday, going to sell guns. Yep, good. 1,000-foot starter pack in my cart. Awesome. Go sell some jobs. Matt Goodman. Thanks. I will be there. Landscape lighting class. Carrie, we hang lights tomorrow. First of many. Matt, Carrie was talking about you the other night, talking about that you all put out yard signs together, and you got 2 phone calls, and Carrie didn't get any. And so, obviously, you got a good yard sign that's working very well, and Carrie needs to work on his. Their basic signs only put out a dozen so far. Well, that's because you haven't put out enough. A dozen ain't very many. So, not trying to hit on you hard, but get out 100 and then we'll see what we look like. It's all a numbers game at the end of the day. Everything's a numbers game. Numbers game, numbers game, numbers game. But again, this is going to be a good year. I know people that have been closing very well. I also know people that haven't, but that's part of the game. Some people worry about competition. And I actually put a post out last night of some people know more about your competitors than you know about your own business. And what I mean by that is you know their price, you know how many 5-star reviews they got, you know everything about them. But if you looked at your own 5-star reviews or how much your average ticket is or any of that, a lot of you don't know that. And so that's why I put that out the other night of it is important to quit worrying about your competitors. While you're worrying about your competitors, you're not worrying about your own business. When you're looking over here, that means you're not looking here and staying focused. And we like to, if the more laser point and the more focused you stay, instead of looking over here at your competitor, it works so much better at the end of the day for you. What all specific things are best to include on a door hanger? Should I create a website to be able to put on the door hanger? I probably would. I would also, kind of keep it simple. Don't put too much crap on it. Because when we put too much crap on it, it's too busy. You got to remember, you got to go from the front door to the garbage can, and you got to catch their attention from the front door to the garbage can, because that's like they're taking it off the front door and they're putting it in the garbage can, and so you got to make it catchy on that while you're going from the front door to the garbage can, right? So here's a little guy that kind of makes it catchy, Now on the back, it doesn't look so catchy, right? The picture that's been stolen a million times, and another house that's on top of each other, and so it doesn't look as catchy. But this kind of looks catchy, right? Looks like somebody picking his nose. So that's something that might catch somebody to be like, why is this dude picking his nose? Winners focus on winners. Losers focus on winners. I want a lot of losers in my area. I have a lot of losers in my area, right? Basic red on white signs, like you said. Carrie needs to listen closer. Nah, it's just the luck of the day. Carrie didn't tell that he got a call from my next door neighbor. That's awesome. And it's awesome to see, right? You got two guys in the same area or kind of in the same area, and you're working together. And that's not a bad thing. People think, oh, that's terrible. It's not terrible because there's enough work for everyone. And when you need help, you got somebody that can help you. If you need bulbs, you can be like, hey, dude, I need some bulbs. It's Sunday. I need bulbs. Here you go, right? Or it's Friday night at 8:00 and you got to get this done. And so then you can help each other out. And it's awesome when you can do that. Definitely ordering more. Appreciate you shooting it straight. Well, I love helping people. Like, I genuinely love helping people. I love hearing people's successes, and I get to hear a lot of people's problems that I get to help fix their two successes. And I, you know, I love helping people that started out broke and now they're 6 figures. Some of them are 7 figures, and it's amazing to see how they have changed their life. And this is something that, as I've helped people grow their business, it's been an amazing journey for me as much as it has been for a bunch of you all, right? When I got a guy from 0 to $1 million in 5 years is amazing. When I get someone from 0 to $1 million in 3 years, which will be this year, is even more amazing, right? And so it's amazing that I've been able to be in part of a lot of people's lives and journey of helping you start and grow this business. Some of you guys have been to some of my classes and some of you haven't, and that's okay. But I will say, as long as I can help you and keep you growing and changing your life and giving you financial freedom and giving you time freedom with your families is amazing. I love it. You know, Justice was just saying the other day, he's like, I was able to give away a 2020 Hyundai or a Kia car, right, to someone that needed it. And that's amazing that he's been able to support his own family, but help donate to other people. You know, one thing our pastor always says is you can't outgive God. And that is so true. And so it's amazing that I've been able to help people grow their business, help them give to other people. And it's amazing that you can. And is there anything special about these people? There ain't nothing special about any of them. You know, Daniel was a soccer coach. Jeremy Main was he was a garbage man living out of his car, living in his kid's bedroom because he was getting divorced and didn't have nowhere else to live. You know, it's who else do I got that is just an ordinary person, right? Justice. Um, I have that the kid in Dallas that Tristan that he was literally just got out of college and he went for accounting and now he just bought him a $850,000 house and he owns 15 other houses and he's 26, 27 years old. But it's about these guys. The thing that these guys have is they're taking action and they're doing the things that they need to do. And it is amazing to watch that happen. Marcus, do you think any new AI prompts you're using for marketing and post? Not at this point. I haven't been pushing too much. I mean, I have, but I've kind of just go off of other things that are working and analyze it and then just go from there. Do you think you'll start carrying the filament LED bulbs? I think we do now. I think. Yeah, we do. They're on the website. If you go to if you go to christmaslight.io, let's see. So if you go to christmaslights.io and go to Christmas lights, Christmas lights, LED filament bulbs, and there they are. We got warm white, we got minis, we got all kinds of colors. But yeah, we got them. Let's see. Attach your business card to your door hanger. Learn this in marketing seminar today. I've already 10x my money back on your class in August. God bless everyone in the group. Let's get it this year and be safe. I'm excited to be on the journey together. You know, and I always tell people, right? If you come to my in-person class, if you do a quarter of what I tell you to do, there's no way you cannot 10x that class. There's no way you can't get $10,000 off Christmas lights. And I'll even go a step further with the hotel and the food and everything. You're at $2,000 for the class time. You pay the airfare and hotel and everything. That you won't make $20,000. In fact, I tell people that if you do half of what I say and you take action, there's no reason that you don't leave out doing $30,000 to $100,000 your first year. So that's what's awesome. I was in a cubicle during HR. What do you do for roofs with tough, hard to reach spots? Do you ladder or roof or use equipment like a boom? So my first year, we did 39 installs and I laddered 39 of them because I was scared to death to get on a roof. This was before they had goats. This was before they had pit choppers. They did have cougar paws, but I did not trust the cougar paws. So that's why I didn't trust them, but now we have them. So now that makes it a little bit easier. How much are your commercial LED bulbs a piece? It depends on if you're buying 1 or 25 or if you're buying 500. It really depends on how many you're buying. But you also got to remember it is free shipping too. So I know sometimes you might be able to find them a little bit cheaper somewhere else, but the shipping will eat you up pretty fast. Can you go over how to quote remotely? Yeah, we can possibly, but hold on a second. I want to see if there's any more questions, and then I will. Michael the Goat Pole. Crazy, there's only 16 people watching this. Everyone is leaving money on the table. Mine's showing 24 because I know there's people on Facebook and different places. It might only be on that one channel that you're seeing 16. Google Earth. Where's the ruler icon to tap and put it? Is it effective to hang the lights by yourself, or should I have a helper? I personally like for you to have a helper. It's definitely something that you should have a helper. 100% have a helper. That way, if you fall off the roof, you can have someone pick you up and take you to the hospital or call 911 for you, is what it is. So that is for sure. I will put a link in there for you on how to measure a roof, because I actually did a video on the whole thing, and that way you will be able to watch the whole video, because I break it down a little bit more than if I try to just do it now. And I'll put it in here for you. And I go over everything for you. So I'm going to actually put the link in here for you. It's christmaslights.io/measure. And I have a video, and I also have kind of the way to do it. If you walk through it, you can kind of see how to do that. So it's not that I'm trying to not tell you how to do it. I walk through this video. It shows you how to use the different systems. The only difference is if you want to try to measure through ChatGPT, that's different. But everything is the same on that video. Give this video a like. Yeah. So with that, again, we are getting close to Christmas lights. We are in the go time. Like, we are in the go time. And if you want to learn about more, if you ain't in my group, go check out my Facebook group. I got a whole lot of people in there, christmaslights.io/group. Again, if you want to have a chance to win a pit chopper or a website with 5 Google Tap cards, go to Christmas Light, buy something. That's how I'm going to track it. I'll put everybody in a hat, and then we'll see who wins. And then I'll send you a pit chopper. You can get the black one or white one. I think I've got white ones, or I can get the white ones. But again, go check that out. I appreciate everything. If you need anything, you can message me, you can text me, whatever you need. My phone number that you reach me and it rings my phone, or you can text my phone. You can text LITE, LITE, to 855-619-5483. If you've got any questions and you want to ask me a question, definitely you can call me on this number. You can text me on this number. I will get back with you and help you in any way I can. Evening joining a membership. If you want to know more about the membership, I do have a membership, christmaslights.io/SP. It does have all the training videos in it, and every Monday night we do a Zoom call. we talk about marketing, and then from marketing, we have about an hour and a half conversation on just business. Can you update the link to goes to your Google page? Can you update the link? It goes to your Google page. What goes to my Google page? I don't know what you mean. Do you know of anyone getting the Christmas light leads and subbing them out? I might be interested in that. I do know some people that do that because they don't know how to get the leads. Link goes to Google review page. It does? Oh yeah, I put the wrong link in there. That's funny. I see it now. If you want to give me a review, that's awesome too. I'll appreciate that too. Sorry about that. Let me go find my link here. Christmaslights.io/measure. Christmaslights.io/measure. There you go. Let's see if that one goes through. Yep, there you go. Sorry about that. Put the measure link one, put send us the Google page. We asked for measurement video links, the one you posted. Send us the Google. I know, I got that bit. Awesome. Thank you for the review. I appreciate it. With that, go out there and make some money and change your life because it's time to go time. But in the end, stay safe. Don't do sketchy things. If it takes a little bit longer, take a little bit longer. If you got to go get a bigger ladder, go get a bigger ladder. If you got to go rent a bigger ladder, go rent a bigger ladder. If you got to go rent a lift, go rent a lift. It's way better to do that and spend the $50 to rent a ladder than it is to try to do something that you shouldn't be doing and falling off and getting hurt. So with that, stay safe this week, and we'll talk at you. Some of you I'm going to get to see on this weekend, and some of you I will see on Sunday. Have a great night. Go be great.